Shibulabula, aye, shibulabula, aye, shibulabula.
Olama Bagania, welcome to the very first episode of the season 2020-2021. We started off on a good note. The MTN 8 this past weekend. Otherwise, I'm not alone. My friend is here. My partner in crime is here. The winner is here. King Tsukamanja. Menge. Mola Tleko.
Hola Joe. Hola. Ugren.
Tleko kuhle manje noko ndonwabile kunjani?
Ngiyaphila ndoda. Akunceda ukhala.
Le nickname ndikunika yona kaMenge ingathi into engathi yakunxumisa.
Hayi. Anzenze into zezakoyo ujubu kamanja mina. Ngikalani lezithubu. Ungabe liyo. Unosikode ninguhlow siholela cha. Uyabona ingele zakho.
No man, it's not about Noel, but we feel in nickname ayinikwe nguReggie Ndlovu ulanika uTsukamanje uthi nguMenge.
Imfanele kodwa because khangadile kakhulu ngebhola ibingathi uyayimenceza nje asuka athathe isipili. So I guess ke unikele ngenxalo.
Uyayimenceza. Hey, Mpehle, bankomkele kuthomama kwi-forum again this week. MTN 8. I can't say great performance, but I'll say a good win. We didn't concede. We didn't make things difficult for ourselves against 10 men like we did in the bubble when we lost 1-0 to the same club, Cape Town City. The red card, I wouldn't say it gave us an advantage because I think by the time they got the red card, we were already in the lead and we were already warming up now to the game because the first 20 minutes, the first 15 minutes of the game, I could say, you could see Guti, there were some couple of new faces in the team, 4 new faces in the team. So the first 15 minutes, I can forgive them, Amachita, for playing like that because first of all, you didn't have your captain like Ujele. You had Tyson, who was making his debut. You had your John Hotto, who was not playing his normal position like the winger because I think he was playing more of a left back. You had Menge, Tsukamanja. Who else? You had Uwe Joster, my man of the match, on the day. But I can forgive the guys, man, for the first 15 minutes in Bethel. But overall, I mean, what did you make of the game when I'm talking about?
Look, for me, well, I expected the guys to be rusty in terms of it being the new season and all of that. I expected a cagey first 20 minutes in the game as a whole. And then when we had settled, I expected us to knock it around and look to take control of the game. We did not start well, but we just kept the shape. And they started better than us, I would say, not by much, but slightly better than us. There were some mishaps that happened with Tyson missing a tackle or the ball, those smallish scary moments, but they were not in abundance. It was just, I think, 1 or 2 that happened. And then as soon as we reached the 18th minute mark, we had started to knock it around well with purpose, and we had started going forward and looking to put Mango through because they were playing a very high line, Cape Town City, but their offside threats were, I won't say they were good because the officiating in South Africa, you don't know now what's going to happen because they actually don't know the offsides. But the guys we didn't play bad. I'm not going to lie to you. In fact, the red card was more of a disadvantage more than an advantage because I think we're going to play much better had we played 11 men. When you are leading and then becomes 10 men, all of the pressure comes into you, and you sort of have to produce an avalanche of goals. And I think that's why many supporters were saying that they're not happy with the performance, because it was the pressure of that. There were 10 men and they had beaten us with 10 men, remember the last time. But we played well. We missed a lot of chances, actually. The only scare that they did give us was towards the last minute when Mubara put in a delightful cross, and Morris missed it, and everyone was at sea, actually. Besides that, I don't think we're troubled in the game. Even before, um, who's this guy? Even before Fegilake was sent off, rightfully so, there was
Sure.
really nothing that Cape Town City had done. I thought, in fact, we would grow more into the game, because I thought we had the players, the better players on the pitch, and the better players off the bench to win the game. So a win was never in doubt. It's just that because there were 10 men, it could have been, it could have had more gloss had they took the right decisions in the final third, but they didn't, as always.
You summed it up nicely there, Mbehle. You summed it up nicely. Cape Town City, they were never really a threat. They were never really. Was Uralani there?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He
Oh,
wasn't.
it wasn't. Yeah,
He wasn't.
because really, they were never. Sancho, they did play like we could see. Guti, this was a Cape Town City. I mean, the first 15, 18 minutes, you could see Guti, this is a Cape Town City that could hurt you on any day if you're not careful. But um, I could say Guti, even when Sunderland wasn't tested, even the last ball, that last minute goal, I mean that last minute ball, Kamubara.
Mm.
I don't think it was even a shot on target, even though it was scary, but it was not on target. But our game, starting from the back, we kept shape at the back, even though you could see Guti, they really pressed us, because you could see Guti, they started our game of building up from the back. Every time when we were building from the back, you could see Guti, there will be 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 players pushing up so that we can just hoof the ball forward. But I liked Indlela Ehlalanga. You could see Guti Tyson, he is not used to that. That's why he made some of those mistakes, because at Beatrice Vets, Tyson will make those mistakes, because at Vets, he will just hoof the ball forward. But I'm sure at Pirates, he was shown, Guti, this is not how we play football. At Pirates, you don't just hoof it around. You watch who's near you, then you can just pass the ball. As a mistake, they can be forgiven. It was his first game. He was put in a difficult position of being a captain on the day. I don't know the real reason behind that, but our coach, he explained it in the press conference, but I still don't buy it. But yeah, we'll see as the season progresses. I mean, we are playing Amazulu this weekend, but if performance here, guys, when I'm better, I mean, this past weekend, especially defense, Wayne Joster, he really impressed me. Udion Hoto, a workaholic as always. You could see he was helping out in defense. He was going forward. Dion Hoto, I like that guy. Utsukamanja, even though he was Puma with Enoch, but you could see Utsukamanja is that flashy player that if you don't pay attention to him, he will kill you, because he doesn't seem like a dangerous player on the field. But when he does something, you could see this might result in a goal, as you saw this past weekend against Cape Town City.
Yeah, he's very quiet on the pitch. He reminds me of his calmness. I think the header that he scored reminded me of one goal that was once scored by Surprise Moriri. He seems like that player who might develop into something like him in terms of coming late into the box. He seems like someone who will come in unannounced and give us a goal, even when he's not played well. He didn't play badly, as you alluded. Wayne Joster was very good for me. He was very good in terms of he has a final ball, and he was very good in terms of switching the play. He seems like a very comfortable player. But he was also covered by Undlov. Ndlovu did cover him a lot. Was very good in the defensive work side of things, Ndlovu, and in the middle of the park. He was very good. It's just that with him, the decisions that he made in the final third, particularly towards the end of the game, which could have killed off Cape Town City, they were very questionable. So he needs to work on those. But all around, Tyson, the armband issue also bothers me because it really put unnecessary pressure on Tyson. He can be a leader without actually having the armband, but I see the fan base is split there, so it will basically be on what one believes. I did not like it when it was done overseas with Thiago Silva. Lampard did it with Thiago Silva, and he had an awful game. I also was very vocal when it was given to Maguire when he hadn't even spent 6 months at Manchester United. So with me, I just don't think that a new person should just come in and get the armband. But those who made the decision made the decision. It was rather unnecessary because it put unnecessary pressure for Tyson, because Tyson is not playing for Bidvest Wits now, with all due respect to Bidvest Wits, but this is just another football club. It's a big football club. There is a lot of pressure, even without the supporters in there. There was just a lot of pressure in that particular game, even because Pirates had to win that particular game. Otherwise, the same questions were gonna come in again. So it worked because we won, but there's just something there that's just not making sense for me. But that's a story for another day. We don't have the facts.
Yeah, we don't have the facts exactly, and we can't dwell much on that. There's another game coming up on
Against Amazon.
apologies, guys, there for the cut in. Behle, we were still discussing Linda Baga Tyson, right? Or we were past that.
Yeah,
I think we passed
no, we're just past that. Because I said that's a story for another day.
Yeah. Okay. Behle, now, without wasting any more time, I think I want to talk more about Uwe Joster. Yazi, I was one of those people. I won't say I was one of them. I was that person who was really upset when the team announced Ukuthi Mthokozi Sithube is being loaned out to the Golden Arrows. I was really upset. I was frustrated because now I have my own personal opinion that Mthokozi Sithube has been our best right back. I mean, there is no better right back at Orlando Pirates than Mthokozi Sithube. With all due respect to Monyane, with all due respect to Umabaso, but with Mthokozi Sithube, we could see Guti, we had shape, we had everything that you need from a right back. So when he was loaned out, I could see Guti, okay, now we are going back to a situation of chopping and changing between Umabaso and Uyang Monyane. But the arrival of Wade Joster, you could see Guti, there were different opinions from guys from Twitter. Some were saying, let's give him a chance. Some were saying, who is this? I was also one of them was asking, Wade Joster? No, man. But this past weekend, Bethley, I must applaud Wade Joster. He gave his all, bruh. Go right back. Whoever who decided to sign Wade Joster and decided that he's not going to play as a winger, he's going to play as a right back, that person, really, because Uwe Joster fed a lot of people a humble pie this past weekend. What a game, what a performance. 10 out of 10 from Uwe Joster this past weekend. What did you make of him?
Brilliant performance. It was very good for me. I haven't watched him a lot, but I'm not one to judge a person before they have played. I still haven't judged him because it's just one game, but brilliant performance so far. You can only start good so that you put me and many other people in a good state about you. brilliant performance going forward. Um, Defensively, the whole team was very structured, as you would expect with with a Zimbabwe side, which did not concede more than 2 goals in the league games that he was in charge. Um, Brilliant performance. He has a final ball. He has a very good final ball. So
Mm.
we are gonna benefit massively from that. For me, just going back on Udube also. I know you are very fond of him, but I mentioned in the first episode that with regards to Mthokozisi Dube, the reason we are even having to fight for Mthokozisi Dube to be in the lineup and he is not is solely because of him. He needs to do the work for himself, because the supporters can see the quality. Maybe he doesn't push himself enough because in the workplace I've been around for some time to know that there are people who are very hard workers. They know that they don't have the same amount of talent as you, but those
Yeah.
people would be loved at work more than the person who has the talent, because that person is just using that particular talent alone, but the hard work to be in there is not there.
It's not there.
That's what I get with Udube. The reason we are having a discussion about Udube is because Dube is making us have a discussion about him. If
Mm.
for me he was putting it all in there, he would easily have retained his spot within the football club. So as much as I thought it was not a good decision also for me, but players come and go, and for me only as himself to blame. It's a chance for Wade Joste. It's a chance for young Monyane to improve on the many faults that he had. It's going to be beneficial for him that he has a leader who can talk like Tyson,
Yeah.
on the right hand side of the defense. So hopefully that will help him, because he has pace. He just does not have the awareness. He has the pace. He just does not have the awareness, and he needs to fix his final ball all the time. Wade Johnston looks like when he hits crosses, he's gonna get 7 out of 10 of them correctly.
Yeah.
And that was also another problem, Dube, which is also a problem for Mayela. Mayela must be very careful now, because Tebogo Tlolane, who has a brilliant left foot, is back and he will stay on for the season. Not only him, Dion Hoto could also be an option when needed
Yeah.
to, because Dion Hoto is a workaholic player and he can play everywhere where he's asked to play, and he has a magnificent delivery into the box. So Innocent Mayela must also be careful, because I also have the same type of view about him as the view that I had from Mthokozisi Dube. Very talented boy, but there's just something with these boys that they're not actually pushing themselves. Maybe if Dube was kept and the competition was brought on, he was going to see that there is more competition, so he pushes himself further. Maybe that will happen with Innocent Mayela also.
Yeah, Beth, yes, I just wanted to keep this episode. I just want us to keep it short and sweet. Let's rush straight to player ratings, to how they played. Starting off from the back, I don't think we should rate Wayne because he had nothing to do. He really had nothing to do. I would say Wayne, I'll just give him a 5. But I don't know what's going on with my data, bro. Seriously, I don't know. I'll give Wayne 5. I don't even want to say anything because he had nothing to do. I don't remember him being tested. Starting from the right, Wade Joster, for me, I will give him an 8 over 10 for a performance against Cape Town City. He knew when to track back to defend. He knew when to attack. We are when we don't have the ball, and he knows where to be when we have the ball. So a player like that, he shows Uguti he watches football. I like a player Bugeli Bola. There's a difference between a player that plays football and he doesn't watch football, and a player that plays football and still watches football. And you could see Guti Wade Josta is one of those players who plays football and also watches football. So for me, performance this past weekend, I would give him an 8. I don't know what you think.
For also, I don't think we should rate Sunderland. So Sunderland is a 5 for me because he literally did not have anything to do. Wade is also an 8 for me. I'm gonna go on. Wade is an 8 for me because it was just brilliant. He settled in, fitted in like a glove. Tyson was a bit jittery here and there. Some of his clearances were jaw dropping and brought some nervousness. But he was a leader. It comes naturally to him. He marshaled the defense well. So for me, I will also give him a 5. The big surprise was Ntsikelelo Nyawoza. Very good on Saturday. Yeah, very good on Saturday for me. He covered people. He won his challenges with the head, with feet. He was a true soldier. He continues to prove that he deserves the contract that was given to him under the conditions that it was given. I think it's a big season for him, and I also think it's a player that Zimbabwe actually likes, and I think it will surprise people that I really think the Hlatshwayo Nyawoza partnership will actually be better than a Hlatshwayo Jele partnership. Because Nyawoza is a man marker. With Uchele, it seems like he's a sweeper, and it also seems like Tyson Inayo is very comfortable at being a sweeper. So far, for me, 6.5. Dion Hoto, 6. I'm just scrolling through them. Ben Mutsuari and Fortune Makaringe were not very good for me. They were not very good. They did not really offer something, especially Makaringe, who you expect to offer you something more going forward. He was just not there for me. So it's and also I also have that problem with Mutsuari because Mutsuari sees the pass, but he cannot. He has vision of this pass. He sees it, but he cannot actually do it. He needs to work on his passes because there were opportunities whereby I thought he could make a defense splitting pass, but he didn't because he's just not that type of player. So for me, Ben 5, Makaringe 4 also. 4 for me. Are you there?
Guys, apologies once again. The internet connection in Cape Town is giving us some problems. But Mbethe, you were still discussing Ben Mutsuari. We was discussing Ben Mutsuari and Fortune Makaringe. I had already given Makaringe a 4. I don't know what you were going to give Ben Mutsuari and also Fortune Makaringe.
No, I agreed with you with regards to Makaringe. He solely gets a 4 because I feel he could have given us more going forward. Mutsuari gets a 5 because of his inability to put in the passes that he sees with his eyes, because he does have the vision and sees the pass on the pitch, but he just doesn't transfer it. But he was very good. He was very good in terms of protecting the defense. He's very good on that side of things. Lovu covered a lot in terms of weight. Lovu actually had a good game. But for me, his forays into the final third and his decision making was very was very awful for me. There were 2 to 3 instances whereby I think he could have made a better decision and would have killed off the game. So for me, he was a 6 based on that. I was very surprised when he got man of the match instead of the right back Joster. Uh, Mango was frustrated for the whole day.
Yeah.
Worked
Mm.
worked hard, but there was really nothing. Kept being offside. Also, Mango was a 5. Vincent Pule was also downright 5. Downright 5. Am I leaving anyone of the
No.
11?
No.
Of the 11,
Tukamanja.
Chuvukamanja scored the goal, a 7 for me. He was also very neat in terms of his touches. He does not seem like someone who keeps it for long. He puts it in there. That's why I thought the Menga thing worked very well in terms of the mixing that part. So he was a 7 for me because he scored a well taken goal. That was not easy. That goal was not easy, by the way, to get that contact when he seemed like he was going on another direction. So very well taken goal. So for me, it was a 7.
Yeah. I don't think I'll disagree much with what you give or with the ratings are completely. I just want to go back on Uben Mutuari and also Fortune Makarenge. It seems like this season, Uben or Fortune, they're going to be the same Ben, the same Fortune that they were last season, where they will have a good game, and then come next game, they will give you a 4/10 performance. And I won't ask Uguti what it takes for a player to improve on that, because the answer is simple. Hard work, and hard work. Fortune Makaringe, you could see Uguti is like a Yompomakola kind of player, where I won't say he chooses which games to perform in, because I don't believe there is a player who chooses which game that he must perform in or which game that he shouldn't perform in. But I think Umakaringe, he drifts in and out of games. Also, Ben Mutswari, even though you can say Upen, he protects his defense very well. He protects his defense very well, but there's that little element here game Ben Mutswari that he still needs to improve on. His passing, his vision. There were some times there was a moment like in Cape Town City where we were straight going to attack, and Upen Mutswari chose to make a back pass, and I was really frustrated. We were watching that game together, and you were also frustrated. So I think I must applaud the management for bringing in a player like Utabang Munare, because Utabang Munare, when it comes to long range passes, short passes, I think he's the master in that, and Upen Mutswari is going to learn a lot from Utabang Munare. And I'm hoping Uchezi won't see the need to play them together, because one of them, I still say one of them must sit on the bench. I won't see a need to unless we are in Congo defending a 1-0 lead in a CAF Confederations Cup game, unless we are in Egypt defending a 1-0 lead, unless we are in Tunisia defending a 1-0 lead. But if we are still playing here in the PSL, I think Omnia Wabo will need to sit on the bench. Omnia Wabo will need to play. Also, there was Uzakelele Pasa, There was also Uzakelele Pasa who came in. I think his off-the-ball movements. You were talking about his off-the-ball movements. I saw when we were watching the game, you were applauding his off-the-ball movements. But he will be disappointed that he was caught offside a couple of times. But officiating, man, South Africa, when it comes to Uchacha offside, it's a poor battle. It's a poor, but Uzakelele Pasa, there was a one-on-one against Leeuwenburg.
Should have rolled that for because I knew he was gonna miss the technique with South African players when it comes to that.
Yeah, bruh.
I don't know. I knew I was gonna miss. He should have rolled it on for KB, Ukabelo Dlamini, who
Yeah,
did nothing when he came on. By the way, should have rolled it on for him. I think he would have scored it from his side. But Sakeli is a striker, and strikers tend to be selfish. It's just that we are thankful that we do not point to such chances at the end of the day and say that chance and that chance and that chance actually cost us the game. But there will come a day whereby we actually point to that chance and that chance and that chance. So we need to be clinical as a football club, because we have the players to win the league. We actually should see ourselves as favorites to win the league. There is no other side which is better than us. I honestly believe that.
Mpehle, I think njengoba sithetha ngale review ye-Cape Town City and Pirates, I think when I say season review, which we will be shooting over the weekend, leave that for a weekend, mhlobam, leave that for a weekend. We'll talk more on that. I'm hoping ukuthi we'll find a perfect spot, a perfect venue to talk about our season review. Otherwise, Mpehle, let's wrap it up, my brother. Thank you so much, Mfethu, ngexesha lakho. Eat your supper well, my friend. I can see what is already been prepared. It's already been. Okay, Mpehle, thank you so much, my guy, for joining us. We are playing a game on Saturday night. We're playing Amazulu. They just announced about 8 or 9 players, but we won't talk about that. But one of my favorite players has joined them. Amigo Memela has joined them. Ushaba has also joined them. Hey, Amazulu looks like they're going to be a handful this season, but we'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, guys, please don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. It's Pirates Forum TV. We're also on Facebook, Orlando Pirates Forum. On Twitter at Pirates Forum. Yeah. Otherwise, on Twitter, I am at Mdange_Kachiwa. And that guy, he is at Mawande Bands. Mawande,
good luck to the lads against Amazulu. Even with the amount of signings that Amazulu have announced today, we should be too much for them. Nothing less than a victory would be sufficient to open the season. The lads, I wish the lads good luck. A win is all that will be important at the end of the day. We must collect as much. We need to start well. We need to start well and collect points against these sides that have been holding us to draws. So good luck to the lads. I hope we come back with 3 points from Durban to prepare for our second game, which will be on midweek, and then we face Chiefs in the MTN 8 semi-final.
Oh yeah, I also forgot about that. Guys, please don't forget, you can see our fixture on the bottom left. You can see our fixture against Kaizer Chiefs. You will also see the highlights of our game against the Cape Town City. You can see that brilliant goal by Utsukamanja. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. See you again over the weekend on the season review. Up the backs.